In scrolling through the endless parade of year-end 2018 anime hot takes, I noticed one thing. Nobody can agree on anything. Yes, it seems, depending on who you ask, 2018 was either the best year for anime this side of Kumiko, or a colossal downer. Frankly, I don't know what the latter camp watched, but that's beside the point. Surely that was just an anomaly, and 2019 would finally see people come together in their appreciation of great art.
You serious?
Of course not. So while I was drafting my contribution to the "this season is the most insert superlative ever" shtick, also known as "has the video reached 10 minutes yet?", that's when it hit me. I just don't care. On that note, let's drop the snappy intro and get straight to the point. I've got 5 winter anime I want to feature here, with another 5 honorable mentions on top of that, any one of which is highly worth at least a look. Please keep in mind, this list does not include everything I'm watching, nor everything I'm enjoying. Winter had a number of gems, but I had to draw the cut line somewhere. With that, let's dive right in with a few works that just missed the cut for one reason or another. First, let me say this as clearly as I can. Do not sleep on Run with the Wind. Sporting one of the most endearing, well-rounded casts I've seen in years, the developing camaraderie between this odd bunch as they find themselves through this shared experience has made for such a rewarding watch. Don't let sports anime throw you. Run with the Wind stacks up with the very best of them. If it can make me want to run a 5K in minus 20-degree weather, it's doing something right. As a leftover from fall 2018, I've already covered it before, which is why I'm only mentioning it here. But do yourself a favor, don't let this one pass you by. Next, the tried and true cute girls doing cute things genre takes to the skies in the magnificent Kotobuki, better known as cute girls doing 20th century aerial warfare. Even more than the fun personalities of its lead force, their spicy manager, or this fluffy pancake girl, the star of the show is its dogfights. The 3-dimensional use of the camera and POV shots, coupled to the engaging sound design, lend the sequences a real weight that feels true to life. Early frontrunner for best show with an oddly specific premise here, folks. Another year, another Precure. 2019's entry takes us into space?
Space!
Star Twinkle Precure appears set to again boast what makes this franchise such a delight for all ages, flexing some of the industry's strongest creative animation power. As a reminder, even if you've never seen a Precure season before, you can jump in at any point. It's still too early to call 5 episodes in, but it doesn't look like it will have quite the thematic depth of Hugto last year. Nevertheless, Star Twinkle Precure is good cartoony fun. And really, what more can you ask for? Taking a complete 180 from there, next I'd like to highlight the perplexing mystery of Boogie Pop and others. The best thing I can say about Boogie Pop is its atmosphere. Kensuke Ushio's soundtrack has this ambient feel to match the muted, hazy aesthetic, creating this vibe that's at times heavy, at others ethereal. I can't always make sense of Boogie Pop's story, hell, I can barely tell the designs apart, but when it connects, it's a strangely fascinating work. With a release schedule as puzzling as the show itself, I'm still not sure what to make of it, and honestly, I don't know if I ever will be. My last and most difficult mention here goes to Dororo, a readaptation of the classic 1960s manga by Osamu Tezuka. Exhilarating, heavy, and wildly entertaining, this modern update showcases how timeless a narrative it is, without a doubt one of Winter's best. Perhaps as I continue catching up, Dororo will shoot up my list. That said, bigger names than me have spoken to its quality, so instead, I'd like to spotlight something a little less heralded. The latest enrapturing world from Tatsuki, Kimari Kusa shows how the director pulls off a post-apocalyptic setting quite unlike anyone else. From the onset, it raises a number of interesting questions about this world, from the mechanics of it to its character's place within it, adding more and more intrigue as it slowly pulls back the curtain. Its basic premise of a group of sisters fighting off these weird mechanical bug monsters in a foggy hellscape doesn't fully do justice what makes it so enthralling. There's also good Fox Mom. And a banger OP. Simply put, Kimari Kusa fascinates me. I want to know more about this place, pushed along by the evocative aesthetic and numerous montages of our troupe traversing its strange yet familiar land. Don't let the 3D models throw you off. The visuals pack plenty of punch in its heavy backdrops that really give the sense of a world long since decayed. To the point I'm at, I still don't know the answers, but I'm eager to find out. Perhaps best of all, After Kadokawa unceremoniously dropped Tatsuki in the name of corporate arrogance and greed, I can't help but love the delicious irony of his new show airing next to the reanimated corpse of Kimono Friends. Kimori Kusa is a far more fitting follow-up to the original than its own sequel. I know the animation style will be a barrier for some, just as it was for Kimono Friends, but please, don't let that stop you from watching one of winter's best shows, and a contender for 2019's biggest hidden gem. Though it's certainly not alone in that competition. Shocker, I love pets. About half my time on social media is spent looking at cute cats and good doggos. So it should come as no surprise to anyone who's watched it for My Roommate is a Cat to make this list. Possibly one of the most accurate portrayals of the human-pet relationship in anime, this is a must-watch for anyone who's ever had a cat, or really any animal lover in general. After losing his parents in a tragic accident, the only close relationship he had, 23-year-old writer Subaru slowly begins to open himself and his home up again after adopting a stray cat, Haru. Watching these two adrift souls find a place of belonging in each other is such a wholesome ride. There's a bittersweet undertone to it, as its leads come from great loss when they meet, but their overcoming that emptiness together leaves a heartwarming impression. It's easily one of the surprise hits of the season for me, not to mention one quite a few people are sleeping on. Really, there's no way this wasn't written by a serious cat person. Where the first half of each episode is from Subaru's point of view, the second half runs through the same events again, only now from Haru's perspective. It adds a fun layer to the story, while enriching the bond between Haru and Subaru we feel as viewers. My Roommate is a Cat has the look of a generic seasonal show with low production values you might not think twice about picking up. But give it a chance, and you'll find there's a much deeper heart here than meets the eye. A great anime thriller. Not too often we get one like this. The Promised Neverland succeeds where so many others like it have failed, in eliciting such suspense. Whether it be a protracted POV shot or clever use of sound design, it carries a truly palpable tension that really sells the horror of its narrative. Set on this Elysian farm, where a lone caretaker, known only as Mother, raises a group of orphan children, the red flags are there from the start. Clearly, there are much darker forces at play here. I won't spoil you if you haven't seen it, but The Promised Neverland wastes no time getting straight to the meat of its plot. Our plucky lead Emma is a character I would die for, although I think she'd rather die for me first, while Mother is one of the best true villains we've had in a while. Not morally gray, but no less interesting, especially as we learn more. The cast personalities really come through in their faces. They sure do throw some wild expressions in there. Really lends it a heightened drama. Get it? Because their mouths... okay, you got it. As much as the complete truth of the outside world, how the whole system works, or certain characters' true intentions, the biggest question on my mind now is how much of that will we see? I don't know how fast the anime has adapted the manga, but with only a few episodes left, I'm hopeful they're able to leave us with a satisfying finish, while obviously still hungry for more. Oof, no, I didn't say that. Please, I take it back. That's it. It's over. I am calling it now. I give you your Best Girl 2019, Fujiwara Chika. Every frame with Chika on screen is made better for her presence. Move over, Kumiko noises. There's a new sheriff, detective, in town. Chika noises. TM. Okay, actually, no, don't do that, but still. Okay, now that I got that out of my system, there's a lot more to Kaguya-sama Love is War than our wondrous love detective and her now famous dance. The series chronicles the fiery battle between its stubborn lovebirds' efforts to get the other to make the first move, no matter how much they have to suffer in the process. Kaguya-sama is a legitimately great comedy anime, but I won't bore you with flowery platitudes about how much it makes me laugh, yada yada yada. What makes the show work more than anything else is the direction of Mamoru Hatake. Why can't I say this? What makes the show work more than anything else is the direction of Mamoru Hatakeyama. After leading one of my favorite modern anime in Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju, Kaguya-sama is, well... quite different from the slow-burning character drama of Rakugo, taking a decidedly livelier style more reminiscent of Hatakeyama's earlier career at Studio Shaft. Half the humor is in its exquisite timing and inventiveness. Kaguya-sama does the stereotypical bombastic anime comedy filled with cutaway reaction faces better than almost anything else I've seen. The voice actors all turn in stellar performances as well, particularly, you guessed it, Konami Kohara as Chika. With as much comedic energy poured into its visuals as its script, Kaguya-sama is a masterclass in delivery on all fronts. Perhaps the show I look forward to most week to week, were it not for one special bowl cut bean. You knew it was coming. The powerful return of your favorite psychic kid and mine, Mob Psycho 102. With the same core staff returning from Season 1, which is a hell of a lot more than you can say for a sequel to a certain other one adaptation, Mob Season 2 carries over the same experimentation that made it such an animation showcase. It truly is a creative playground, taking on whatever art style suits it at the moment to best let it land. Already, Hakuyu Go's Episode 5 will be tough to beat for Best of the Year. But as great as it is, Mob isn't just Sakuga. Even more than the first season, it's offered incredibly nuanced character drama you might not expect from a show so rooted in visual comedy. Above all, Mob Psycho 100's heart is in the right place. Whether it's exposing a character's toxic behaviors so that they may address them and grow from them in Reigen's arc, or the general positive masculinity of the Body Improvement Club, the series unabashedly believes in the potential for good in people, nobody more so than Mob himself. Season 2 still has to stick the landing, but really, have we seen anything to this point that suggests it won't? I think it's far too easy to get wrapped up in the seasonal zeitgeist and start throwing out these heady phrases like modern masterpiece or instant classic, only to completely forget about whatever it was called by the time the next shiny toy rolls around. Nevertheless, I honestly believe when we look back at the end of the year on the 2010s in anime, Mob Psycho 100 will not only stand up as one of the decade's strongest, but a true testament to what modern anime is and can be, visually, narratively, creatively. Mob admittedly raced out to an early lead not just for my Anime of the Season race, but Best of 2019. Will it hold up? There's a few shows here in winter that may yet have more to say about that. Is there anything you think I missed? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to get around to no! Not you! I'd like to announce some changes to my Patreon page, as I want to be much more active there than I've been. I'll be mixing up some of the reward tiers and hopefully be posting there more often. The biggest news will be a Patreon-exclusive Q&A podcast hosted by myself and Mr. Nice Guy every month. For more details, follow the link in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.